"Say hi to the sharks," my daughter-in-law whispered in my ear as she pushed me off the back of the yacht. My son, Tyler, just stood there on the deck, smiling. Their plan was simple: drown me in open water and split my $3 billion fortune. But when the two of them walked through the front door that night, laughing, I was already home, sitting in my chair, with a little surprise resting on my lap. But to understand how a woman who was supposed to be feeding the fish made it home before her own killers, I have to take you back a few months. Back to the day I finally admitted that my only son was waiting for me to die. I didn't come from money. I grew up in a rented trailer with a leak over the kitchen table and a mother who worked 2 jobs so we could eat. By the time I was 19, I knew exactly what an empty refrigerator sounds like at midnight. So I built 18-hour days for 30 years until a single storefront became a company worth billions. Every dollar of that fortune has my fingerprints on it. Tyler never knew any of that. He was born into the soft version of life: private schools, a new car at 16, a credit card with a limit he never managed to find. I loved him too much and protected him from too much. And somewhere along the way, I raised a man who thought money simply appeared because he existed. By 32, he had burned through more cash than my mother earned in her entire life, and he hadn't built a single thing. So I did the hardest thing a mother can do. I cut him off, not cruelly. I gave him a real job at one of my companies, a real salary, a chance to finally understand the value of a dollar. I told him, "I'm not punishing you. I'm giving you the one thing I never had, the chance to build something yourself." He didn't hear a gift. He heard a threat to his allowance. That's when Brittany showed up, my daughter-in-law, beautiful, polished, and about as warm as a parking meter. She married Tyler within 8 months, and I knew the day I met her that she wasn't looking at my son. She was looking at my bank account. She didn't even like him. She tolerated him the way you tolerate a key that opens a vault. It was a Tuesday when I heard it. I'd come back to the house for a folder I'd forgotten, and the study door was open just a crack. Tyler's voice. Then Brittany's, low and certain. "When the old woman's gone, we never have to pretend again. No more punch clock job, no more her counting every penny like the broke little nobody she'll always be." Tyler laughed. He actually laughed. Then he asked quietly if it would hurt. I stood frozen in my own hallway, and a cold, calm anger started climbing up my chest. Not tears. Tears are for people who still hope. I was already planning. Later that night, I heard Brittany on the phone in the garden, thinking she was alone. "Relax," she said. "The second the money clears, I'm done with him too." So now I knew everything. They'd already booked the yacht, a family reconciliation weekend, Tyler called it, all smiles. I said yes. I smiled right back. And then I went to work, quietly, the way I've done everything my whole life. By the time we boarded that boat, the crew answered to me and not to my son. There were cameras he didn't know about. There was a plan in the water, and there was a folder in a lawyer's office downtown that would matter more than any of them could imagine. So when